The Houston Texans had one of the worst defenses in the NFL last year and were at the bottom of pretty much every single statistic category. Flash forward to this year, the Houston Texans have added new defensive-minded head coach DeMeco Ryans, who, when he was with the San Francisco 49ers, had an elite defense for a number of years. They also added new defensive coordinator Matt Burke coming from the Arizona Cardinals. Then they also added 4 starters via free agency on this Houston Texans defense. I think we are all expecting to see this D take a huge step forward and give some opposing offenses some trouble. So today we are going to name the starters for the 2023 Houston Texans defense. But before we do, welcome everyone to the 713 Houston Sportcast. I'm your host, Ruben Calvillo. I drop daily Houston Texans content. Follow my socials. I'm going to drop them down there below. We are so close to 7K subscribers. So if you are new here, guys, welcome, and feel free to definitely like, comment, and hit that sub button. Now, the captain for this defense is going to be the birthday boy Jimmy Ward, who came following DeMeco Ryans to the Houston Texans via free agency. I think we are all excited to see what Jimmy Ward is going to do. He is definitely going to embody that swarm mentality that head coach DeMeco Ryans has been preaching ever since he stepped forward in the NRG. Now, let's just go ahead and stay with the secondary. Your 2 starting safeties are Jimmy Ward and Jalen Petrie. Both of these guys I can see being Pro Bowlers. I think Jalen Petrie is going to take a huge step forward in year 2 and transition into one of the best young safeties in the NFL. Coming up 140 tackle plus season, 5 interceptions. Jalen Petrie was all over the field last year and was one of the few bright spots on this Houston Texans D. Your 2 corners, one of them, the former number 3 overall pick Derek Stingley, who we are all predicting to have a breakout year and a much more favorable defensive scheme that's going to be able to showcase his one-on-one true coverage ability. I think Derek Stingley is going to absolutely ball out and show why he was the first corner taken off of last year's draft. Your cornerback number 2, however, some people were saying it was Steven Nelson, but he's obviously having some contract issues with the Houston Texans, even through some shots at the Houston Texans via Twitter. I think it might be Shaq Griffin, who the Houston Texans just signed on a 1-year deal from the Seattle Seahawks. Still very young, 27 years old, was a Pro Bowler not too long ago. I think Shaq Griffin is going to be surprising for the Houston Texans. And hey, even when he was signed, my friend Cody Johnson, shout out to him, he said this is going to be your number 2 cornerback. Let's go ahead and see what Shaq Griffin could do. Now your slot corner, your cornerback number 3, I think is going to be Agent Zero, Desmond King, who we've been seeing make plays all throughout OTAs, a couple of interceptions. He's definitely picked off David Smells. I think Desmond King has been nothing but solid since he's been signed for the Houston Texans a few years ago. Shout out to Desmond King. I think is gonna be one of the veterans that flourish under new head coach DeMeco Ryans. Your 2 linebackers, I think, are going to be newly signed free agent Denzel Perryman, who every single time you see him working out, the dude looks absolutely jacked, like he was chiseled from stone. If he can stay healthy, Denzel Perryman is just going to be an absolute force for the Houston Texans. This was a DeMeco Ryans free agent signing, and I think he is going to absolutely flourish. The linebacker next to him, 2nd-year guy Christian Harris, coming from Alabama, the alma mater of head coach DeMeco Ryans. We are expecting to see a leap forward in year 2 for Christian Harris. This defense is loaded with young talent. This defense is also loaded with veterans. I am excited to see what this group is going to do, but your 2 linebackers are going to be Denzel Perryman and Christian Harris. I think Christian Kirksey does get the axe at the end of the day. The D-line for the Houston Texans, I think your 2 edges are the number 3 overall pick in this year's draft, Will Anderson Jr., the Terminator, who I think is going to have a 10-sack season, absolutely be dominant this year. And then his partner in crime, I think, is going to be old man Jerry Hughes, who had a tremendous 8 sacks last year for the Houston Texans. No one expected this type of season from Jerry Hughes. He is home in Houston. We should just be happy that he is lending us his services. Is it going to be Jonathan Grenardo? He is in the waiting. Rookie Dylan Horton. There's going to be a lot of competition for the second edge spot of the Houston Texans. Your 2 interior linemen, I don't think no one has any issues. One of them is going to be Sheldon Rankins, who you just signed from the New York Jets. Had an absolute fantastic past 2 years under new head coach Robert Saleh. There's the connection to the San Francisco 49ers. I think Sheldon Rankins is going to do very good here for the Houston Texans. Had his best year PFF-wise under the New York Jets defense. And then next to him, Malik Collins. He's been here for a number of years. We know what he is. Someone who's going to be really good against the run. And someone who, when he gets one-on-one opportunities, can get to the quarterback. Overall, man, I think this Houston Texans defense is going to be exciting. And I think it's going to prove a lot of people wrong. When you add someone like DeMeco Ryans, it changes this defense. There's a reason why we called him the captain when he was playing here in Houston. Big ups to DeMeco Ryans and this Houston Texans defense. Let me know what you guys think. As always, go Houston Texans. You guys have a very blessed day.